Guys,
Do I have YouTube on or some shit?
what up? We got a little bit of echo. We'll get it figured out here shortly, guys. As you can see, we got a little bit of a full panel this evening. We got the legend himself, Chattanooga Ed, right below me. We got Brother Skip right next to me. Austin, the Packer fan, on that side. And then, of course, a special guest tonight. We got Peplin Creek Aquatics. And with all the excitement the Jets have been having in the off season, we thought he should be up here this week. So, fellas, how are you?
Happy St. Patrick's Day to you all.
Yes.
It's a very green day.
Yes. When you're a Packer fan, it's easy to dress in green. Or the Jets. Or the Jets.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh, hell, he's got the hoodie, too. Where's your jersey at, though? You got to get the jersey, though, man.
It's too cold where he lives for jerseys.
That's true. Well, I mean, hey, it's not too warm here in Iowa, either.
I've got green underwear. I guess that counts.
Peplin is such a Jets fan, he had his jersey tattooed.
Oh, there you go.
There's an idea.
Yeah, my Vikings in this offseason have been hellacious. We have done nothing to improve ourselves. Now we let Smith go.
And Peterson.
Smith wanted out. They let him out.
I seen some about Cook going to Buffalo.
Ooh.
What happened?
Dalvin Cook with Josh Allen would be dangerous.
What? You're full of it, Pep.
Nah, we'll
Did
see.
Buffalo get Miles Sanders, though?
Yeah. Oh,
I don't think Buffalo got Miles. Who did get Miles? It wasn't Buffalo.
Maybe I'm crazy. I thought
Buffalo-
Billy also signed Miles, but
Yeah, Buffalo today signed Jackson.
but
I'm surprised
Minnesota
that somebody
picked up
hasn't
Murphy.
snatched Zeke up yet, really.
yeah, that dude's got some gold in him left.
Well, you guys, let's try to do this in order. You guys want to go team by team? Or like best grade so far? Or how would you like to do it?
Mhm.
Because if we jump all over, we're going to miss a lot.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just go. We'll start off with Buffalo. We're going to start at the AFC East. And if we hate all these players, that's fine. But we can all get to rate what we think they've done so far. Okay?
All right.
So, Kyle Allen was signed by the Bills. He's a backup quarterback. No big deal. They got a punt kick returner with Dante Hartley. The 2-year, $13.5 million. That's an awful lot for a kick returner. They picked up an offensive lineman, Boring, a linebacker, Tyler McTavish, or Matt Tavish. You know what? I'm only going to mention guys that have like $1 million symbols.
Works for me.
So it looks like Sam Martin, their punter, they signed a 3-year, $7.5 million deal.
Just to kick a football, man.
So right now, I'm going to grade them not so hot.
Definitely nothing flashy, that's for sure.
No, a punter is your biggest sign.
Heck, I could kick a football. It just won't go very far, but I could kick it.
All I can say about that, Ed, is they probably don't need that much.
Right.
Yep. Well, hopefully their quarterback keeps falling apart. Okay. Now we're going to go to Miami. Looking for somebody.
Didn't they get Baker
they
Mayfield or
re-
something like that?
Let's see.
Yes.
They re-signed their running back.
They re-signed. They re-signed their wide receiver also.
Ooh, Jaden Ramsley,
Jalen Ram.
the corner.
Yep, Jalen Ramsey, yep. Corner.
Just
Yeah,
the number
corner.
one corner in the league, nothing big.
Yeah, so that was a huge one.
Yeah.
For a third-round
What about
draft.
that song?
Well, it's because the Rams knew they weren't going to be able to afford to keep him, so they wanted to get something before they cut bait. His contract was almost up anyway.
So that just helps them. They also they signed a 2-year deal to David Long. He's a linebacker for $11 million. So they're shoring up a little bit of their defense, picking up a great run stop or a pass stopper. So I don't know. They might be getting better. New England did a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. They signed James Robertson to a 2-year, $8 million deal. They signed Juju for a 3-year deal. And that schmuck, he could have signed with the Chiefs last year for more, but he didn't want to do that.
You know why?
So
He wants to be where it's warm, baby.
Yeah.
He's like,
I
all right,
guess.
I got my ring. I'm out.
Yep.
yeah, well that's
Time to
fine.
go for some money.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like actually a pay cut. When the Chiefs were offering you $30 million for 2 years and they're paying them $33 for 3.
Mm.
Yeah, it was paid.
But how much is that as guaranteed money, though? That's the next thing.
I don't know. They don't give you all the ins and outs.
Sounds bitter to me. Sounds somebody's a little bitter to me, maybe.
Well, no, I'm actually. It's all good.
You're feeling how I'm feeling when we sent Diggs back into Buffalo.
Well, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it doesn't matter who Patrick has; he's going to throw it to someone.
Although I'm not complaining, we got Jefferson that year with the draft pick, so I'm pretty happy with that trade.
Okay, now they signed Mike Grizzlick, the tight end for Miami, who's a stud.
Yes.
6'6", 250-pound guy. I love that guy. The Chiefs were trying to get him in the trade with Tyreek Hill, and they wouldn't give him up. So, I don't know. I think New England has done a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like they needed to.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they got
They
more
lost
weapons for
Kobe
Mac
Myers,
Jones.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, but we still hope New England fails. Hopefully, all those players they signed get malaria and are terrible.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
man.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I mean, yeah, they still have enough Super Bowls. They don't need to make the playoffs again anytime soon. I'm fine if they stay out for a
Right.
while.
Well, it would be nice if, what comes around goes around. And it's for all to be cheated.
Yeah, I just wish Ed would have no filter and just say what's on his mind.
Okay, well, the Jets today signed Alan Lazarno. Or how do you say it?
Alan
Lazard.
Alan Lazard.
Yes.
I didn't think Green Bay would let him out, to be honest, Austin. I can't believe they let him out of there.
I saw it coming. They're going to end up getting like 2 receivers in the draft this year, probably.
I think, and Christian Watson had a good enough year where he could take that number 1 slot now, is what it
Yeah.
is.
Well, that and Romeo Doubs had a good year until he got hurt too.
I don't know, though.
We'll be all good.
It's
We'll draft
good to
Jackson
have a
Smith and
solid
Jigba in the first
veteran.
round. We'll be good.
But maybe they're firing up the old free agency money to throw it at Odell.
I want to hear that.
Well,
I'd be psyched Odell came, but I'd be really surprised.
but the Jets, what are they going to do with Davis, Corey Davis?
Keep them.
Do you like Corey
They
Davis?
let Barrios go. So,
That's true.
Corey
Yeah,
Davis
Braxton
was
Berrios,
awesome.
they let him go already.
No.
He's a speedy guy too, Braxton.
And they still haven't officially signed their quarterback.
I was shocked that they let White out of there, though. Really. I thought Mike
That was
at least
weird.
proved himself as the backup.
Damn dog.
He was awesome.
The dog's
did
probably
he sign
barking
with
at
someone?
Kenny's jersey over there or mine. He either doesn't like the Vikings or the Packers.
He's
All right,
a
let's test this.
doggy. What if it's just Irish?
Well, then that's just racist.
Yeah.
Meet that little Daisy in person.
Okay. Baltimore. They have revised the franchise tag on Lamar Jackson. I don't know what that even means.
That
Basically-
means he has the ability to shop himself. If he finds a player, somebody that will surpass their offer or what have you, it gives them the opportunity to match the offer before they let him go.
Oh.
Sounds like a normal franchise tag.
No, franchise you can't shop. Normal franchise, you're untouchable.
Well, I think. Okay. Okay, I guess so. Maybe. But that's all they've done. Baltimore's done nothing. I like it that way.
Yeah, because they're going to break
Yeah,
the bank.
There's
trying to get
people
Lamar
that have
Jackson
done
in.
worse at it. We just haven't gotten there yet. Trust me, there's people that have done worse.
Cincinnati signed Orlando Brown.
Which will really
The
help out
Chiefs-
that offensive line big time.
Well, when it comes to rushing, he had so many rushes against Patrick Mahomes last year. I am so glad he didn't take the deal the Chiefs that they offered him last year, because they offered him $21 million a year for 4 years, and he wanted 25, and he ended up with 16 for 4. He was rated the 17th overall offensive line or left tackle in the league, and he's a great run stopper. Chiefs don't need run stopping; they need pass stoppers. So, I don't mind that the Chiefs let him go.
Who are they going to
But-
replace him with, though, is the question.
Well, let's get to that when we get to the Chiefs, because we've already done that. Okay. No other big deals I see. Oh no, they picked Jermaine Pratt. They re-signed him. He's a 3-year interior lineman for 30 or 21 million. So they just shored that up. Okay, the Browns. I don't know how the Browns have any money to do anything.
Not that it usually matters when they do.
Trying to see if they did anything fun.
Well, they got Deshaun Watson. I mean, we pretty much might as well say that was this year's draft, last year's draft, and the next year's draft with Deshaun Watson. They gave up the farm to get Deshaun.
Well, they got a Devon Tomlinson, defensive tackle, 4-year, $57 million. Oh, and then they picked up Juan Thornhill. That was the Chiefs' 3rd-round draft pick 4 years ago. And he got to a starting role, so that was good. But he signed for $21 million for 3 years.
What about you? I think I could live on $7 million. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it'd,
well,
it'd be tight, but I think I could do it.
Hell, I'll
these
take that
average
back.
guys leave the Chiefs after they win a ring, and they're getting ring money. And it's good that they can make that type of money.
Right.
It's just like that guy that Ward. He was a terrible corner for the Chiefs. And he was a free agent last year. The 49ers picked him up for a huge contract. And it's like, awesome. Okay. We got the Houston. Case Keenum. They signed Case Keenum for a 2-year deal.
He's still playing. Wow.
Yeah.
I haven't
Robert
heard anything.
Woods re-signed for another 2-year deal.
Hmm.
$15 million. That's all that's exciting about them.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure it out, Daniel. I don't know where the echo is coming from.
Well, do you want to try to mute? Like each one of us mute for 1 second?
All right, I'm going now.
Testing 1, testing 2.
Mic
Still there.
check. 1, 2, 3.
Go ahead and mute, Ed. Testing 1, 2, 3. It's not Ed.
Is it me?
Let me see.
I don't think it's you, Pep.
I'm muted. He's still there. There it is.
Who just muted?
Austin.
So it's Austin. Austin is our echoer this evening. Do you got YouTube out, Austin?
I do not. I'm not sure what that is. Let me check my settings here real quick. Check my audio settings. See if that's.
Maybe your mic is set for like all around instead of just facing you.
That might be. Oh, webcam audio. Well, that's not good. Let's get rid of that crap. That's probably why, guys. Yep, my bad.
Well,
He's still there.
Does that sound better, guys?
Nope, still got an echo.
Shit. Okay.
What's up, DD? Good to see you. Miss Patty coming in with the craziness. Always love you, sister. Scuba Steve, what's going on? Daniel Valette, welcome. So Ed, keep continuing. We've been dealing with the echo
Okay.
up to this point, so
How we sound now?
that's better.
No echo? No more echo? Uh-oh. People are calling for me to get fired like some people are Matt LaFleur now. Oh, no.
Oh my God, you're good now, dude. That's perfect. Actually, I'm not
They're going to
hearing
put me on the
nothing.
chopping block like Mike McCarthy.
hey, we aren't in the playoffs yet. You can screw up right now. This is just like the preseason.
Right? All right. Sounds
Wait
like
till,
we're fixed. It only took us 17 minutes, but we figured out that I was the culprit. Cue the Law and Order theme. Dun, dun.
Well, the Tennessee Titans. Oh my gosh, it's so weird not hearing myself because I was always pausing to listen to what I just said. Okay. The Tennessee Titans signed a defensive tackle, Andre Key. I don't know who that is. A 3-year, $24 million deal, but nothing too exciting. Oh boy. What's that?
I love it. I love it. Gotta love a man with a good old rack.
Yeah. I think she was referring to his beautiful wooden racks behind him.
Right, right.
Oh yeah, that was nice too.
Hey, she can like both.
Sorry, Ed.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right. Okay, well, now let's go to Denver. Denver signs their new starting quarterback, Jaden Statham, a 2-year deal for $10 million. So that'll be interesting that now they might have a guy that can throw the ball on their team.
Well, who is this guy? I never even heard of this
Or even
guy.
move the ball, for period.
Where'd he
Y'all
come
heard
from?
of this guy? I don't even know who this guy is.
Mm-mm.
I'll click
Back
it and
up.
see what they. He's a 6'2", 218-pound, 32-year-old. He went to Auburn. Must be a career backup. There's his
Are you,
picture.
wait a minute.
He made it sound like we were on Matchmaker or something, man.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing? Reading his Tinder account?
Well, it only give you so many stats when you've been in the league for 10 years and only thrown been in
Ed, I
2
love
games.
Yeah.
He's played in 2 games. He has a total of 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. He's been sacked 6 times in those 2 games. Oh,
I think Stidham actually once upon a time was the backup behind Derek Carr when he was at the Raiders.
Ah, you're right.
So in other
That
words,
is right.
nothing much is probably going to change at the Broncos.
No.
oh, well, I would imagine that he's a major threat to take the quarterback spot.
I mean, hell, the way Russell did. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I'm
get
going to tell you all
anybody.
something. I'm not giving up on Russell yet. I don't think he's done.
It was
I just
off.
think
That was
he
an
got-
awful year.
Yeah.
And I think
You know-
he was still recovering from the injury from the year. I think Russell comes back strong this year. I don't think it's going to be strong enough to do very far in the playoffs, but I think as long as Russell comes back to his normal form, I think that team's going to be all right.
Well, I hope so, because Ryan Leaf could have did that last year.
Not to mention, are you guys forgetting? I mean, we're forgetting. We're talking about players. Let's talk about that was the biggest signing of the year. Them getting Sean Payton. Come on.
Yeah, and having to trade a draft pick for it, too.
I get it. But Sean Payton is a good coach. Very good coach.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think the best thing that Russell Williams did, or Williams, whatever his name is,
Wilson.
the best thing he ever did was take that giant contract that destroyed that awesome team in Seattle, because they had to dismantle the whole defense that won them that Super Bowl.
Not just the defense, the Legion of Boom, baby.
Yeah. And he is the man who single-handedly destroyed that team.
Well,
So
there's
we gotta
another
give him
team.
credit for
There's
that.
another team that's kind of suffering that same outcome right now.
Well, and I'm hoping that he might be one of my favorite players if he does it to Denver now for another 5 or 6 years. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Now, who are you going to next, Ed?
This is my Kansas City Chiefs.
Hmm.
And they've made some interesting moves. Okay, they picked up Jawan Taylor. He's a right tackle for, I believe it was Jacksonville. I get Carolina and Jacksonville mixed up all the time. But, and everybody, you know, the press says, oh, you can't move a right tackle to left tackle and expect him to be any good. That's what they did with Orlando Brown. He was a right tackle. And this guy that we picked up is the 3rd highest rated pass blocker in the league. And that's what the Chiefs need, is pass blocking. So it made sense for them to give him a 4-year, $80 million. I think they could have got it for less, though. I think they could have got him for maybe 15, but they gave him the Orlando deal. They were trying to give Orlando, and then Orlando left and had to take 16. So I think that's interesting. And in Veach, we trust. I mean, everything Veach does turns to gold, so I don't question my general manager at all here. Then we picked up a guy. He's an up-and-coming defensive end for San Diego. He was their backup. He averaged about 4.5 sacks a year on his rookie contract, but he was only getting played like 1/3 of the plays. And now he's going to be a starter with the Chiefs. So that should equivalent to a lot more sacks. And they signed him to a 2-year, $20 million deal versus Frank Clark, who is getting 4.5 sacks on a $27.5 million deal a year. So I think that was a win for the Chiefs. But those are the biggest ones for the Chiefs, I think. And now, Los Angeles. The Los Angeles Raiders. Here's a good one.
No,
Jimmy G.
They're the Las Vegas Raiders now.
Oh, Las Vegas. Sorry. I still call the Chargers San Diego, too. It's terrible. Jimmy G signed a 3-year, $72 million deal.
I think that is a good pickup from them.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Now they just got a quarterback that already knows the coach's offense inside and out. He isn't going to have to transition to that. So Jimmy,
Wish they wouldn't have got rid of Waller, though.
You got a what?
They got rid of Waller, though.
Yeah, I don't understand that one.
Oh,
I don't
that helped
understand
like
that
a lot
one.
of sense.
But you said it yourself, Austin. They're probably not worried about it because this is the best year for tight end than we've had in the draft in a very long time. So they probably figure they can pick up a quality tight end in the draft.
If they did that, though, they'd probably want to trade back because I don't see any tight ends going within the top 10, probably.
Right.
You
But
could
you
probably trade
pick
back
it up
at
in the
least the
second.
top 15, top 20 then.
well, what will Jimmy G last more than 8 games? That's going to be the question.
I think the Raiders have a pretty decent offensive line still. So San Francisco didn't have the best offensive line. They spent all their money on the defensive line. And I think if that guy has time to throw, he's dangerous. And there's a guy up there that I think is probably pretty stoked because he's probably getting ready to bail. Devontae Adams is probably going to have a big year.
He still moved to a conference that has two major sacking powerful teams. The Chiefs led the AFC in sacks. They were the second highest sacking team in the whole NFL. In San Diego, man, they can get after the quarterback with some of their studs too. So they're going to have to work to keep Jimmy G, I think, alive, at least against those two games. But let's see, did they pick up anybody else? They re-signed they put the franchise tag on Josh Jacobs. We talked about that last week. That was a great move for $10.5 million. He's a stud. They signed Jacoby Myers to a 3-year, $33 million deal.
I still have not seen enough out of this Myers why everybody's so enthralled by it. I personally haven't seen enough out of the guy, but
he's the New England guy, right?
I know who he is. I guess I'm bitter because I've had him on my fantasy league 3 times and he's been choking every time. He's not a guy I'm ever going to draft again.
That's because he played for New England. They do odd shit every other game.
Yeah, they're fantasy. I hate drafting anybody in fantasy football from New England because you never know the consistency of the
One
play.
game, Mac Jones will throw 300 yards. The next game, he'll throw barely over 100.
Yeah, you could have Stevenson get 200 yards. Next game, he don't even play.
I've had Brady for a couple endlessly. The year I took both leagues with Brady he was as Tampa then. But
well, Gronk claims that they try to make sure that people don't ever make their bonus numbers. He was saying how much he hated New England because once he was about to hit his bonus numbers, they would stop throwing him the ball and stuff. Now, if that's true, I think Brady would say something because he would be the one throwing the ball. So I don't know. Okay. The Chargers have done, they picked up Eric Kendrick. Oh, the Chiefs picked up a good linebacker today from off the Chargers. It wasn't on this list, but I don't know what they're doing with a third linebacker.
Well, Kendricks is the Viking that I was pissed off that we just gave the boot to. That guy's got a lot of game left him. I mean, what is he, 29 or something, maybe 30?
I don't know. They signed him for a 2-year, $13.5 million deal.
That guy's a good linebacker. I think they picked up a good one. They already got Joey Bosa. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Defense looking scary.
I think the Chiefs picked up their old linebacker for $10 million deal for 2 years, $5 million a year. And everybody in Chiefs Kingdom's like, our linebackers are really stout. So we're wondering if they're going to try to trade Gay. And when I say trade Gay, I mean the player Gay. He's the guy who got suspended for 3 games for destroying his vacuum cleaner.
Grumpy Mike in the house. What's going on, Mike? DD, welcome.
Can you imagine being suspended for smashing up a vacuum cleaner?
Yeah, that must suck.
And Tom Brady can deflate balls for years and get less time.
Can he smash the vacuum cleaner?
Yeah.
Don't mess with the vacuum cleaners.
Nobody does it like Hoover. Yes, my son made it, so I had to smash the vacuum. That's right. Daddy wouldn't use it anymore because it was dirty.
You should have just gave it to your son afterwards.
Yeah.
Tell him that's your allowance for the week.
You should have staked that thing and gave it to him when he moved out.
It would have been terrible if you
guys. It was a filter queen. It wasn't like it was like some $8.99 deal at Walmart or something. It was a filter queen, man. I'm probably still paying on it.
It's like him damn Kirby's.
Here's some big news. The Cowboys are going to go into the season with 2 quarterbacks. They've re-signed Cooper Rush to a 2-year, $6 million deal. Last year, they went in with 1 quarterback. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That
how
was
could you?
Crazy.
I think that was a smart move. I mean, why would you let that kid go?
Yeah, if
I
Dak gets
know.
hurt, you got a guy right behind him.
Yeah, what was his record? I want to say he was like 5-1 as a starter.
Yeah.
I know. It just blew my mind that they got rid of all their
He played
quarterbacks.
very composed whenever he was in the games last year. So I like that kid. I'd take him over Cousins. Of course, I'd take anybody over Cousins.
How about White?
Mike White going to
I don't know
still
where
can't.
Mike White went.
Mike White went to, God dang it, I just talked about it at the beginning of the. Where did White
Quarterback?
Maybe we'll get to it still.
Mike White went?
The Jet quarterback?
Yeah, your Jet quarterback. He either went to New Orleans or he went to Atlanta. I can't.
He went somewhere?
He's gone. You guys let him go.
I know. And
Had to make room for Rodgers, right?
I would have kept him and got rid of that schmuck.
We ruined Peplin's night now. Look at him.
That was my guy.
Well, your guy is now playing for another team.
Okay, the New York Giants. Daniel Jones for $160 million, I think is an overpay for him because I don't think he's that good of a quarterback. I think he had his best year ever this year, and he was pushing to make the money.
Yeah, but I'm
So,
going to
that's
tell
my
you something,
opinion.
that you got to look at, okay?
He ain't been around that long, though.
Every year, he's gotten better. So what's this year going to bring? It's not like he's not. He hasn't capped. He hasn't capped out. He keeps getting better every year.
I like Jones.
He knows your offense already inside and out. And give the guy, cut him some slack, man. He got him in the playoffs. They beat the Vikings in the playoffs. First time in a long time they've had a playoff win. I think the guy deserved to get paid.
Anything can happen in the NFC.
Yeah, but I'm saying the guy deserved to get paid. He did.
Yeah.
I mean, I like if it was an evolutionary scale where you have amoebas, then algae, and he started at amoeba level and now he's at like caterpillar level. You want him to be a butterfly and be really good, but I don't see that happening. I think he got to this level because he wanted to get paid, and I think you're going to see him maybe go down because he's not going to run the ball as much.
Okay, what was your record last year?
What's that?
What was Chiefs' record last year?
Better than my team.
Well, my Chiefs have hosted the AFC Championship for 5 years in a row.
I get it, but
that helps you with records.
Yeah, but again, Patrick Mahomes, how much did you pay that guy? And you're giving it. This guy gets nothing.
$50 million.
$50 million a year.
So you think that he is worth $40 million and Patrick's worth 50? Patrick is paid 50. So do you think he is worth 80% of a Patrick Mahomes?
I think he's better than Cousins. And we're paying that silly bastard like almost $50 million a year too. So
right.
You're probably asking the wrong guy, Ed.
Yeah, we shouldn't judge it off of bad moves. We should judge it off of smart moves. Like New Orleans picking up Carr for less. And I really think Derek Carr is a better player.
He is.
But, oh well. Okay, so where were we here? They re-signed Shaquan Barkley. They picked up Paris Campbell. Is that the Indianapolis dude?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that guy's. That's going to be.
And Waller.
They signed him.
And they got Waller.
Campbell for only $4.7 million. That's a steal. That
Major
guy's
steal.
awesome.
The big deal is Waller. I mean, they got Waller.
They re-signed Sterling Shepard for 1.3 and okay.
And I like that guy too. How about you all? I've had him in.
He's hurt a lot though.
Yeah,
I like him.
Bargain. Okay.
What's that rookie they had too that did good this year? They
picked up Darius Slayton. He agreed to a 2-year, $12 million deal.
Slayton, another good one.
Yeah.
It's going to be good for the Giants this year.
That's a shutdown corner, man.
Big time shutdown corner. Top 5 corner in the league easily.
No, I'm talking wide receiver.
Talking about the wide receiver, Giants. Slayton, Darius Slayton.
Well, Slayton's
Darius
released. Did he land anywhere?
He
Thought
signed
he
a
did.
2-year, $12 million deal with New York.
Yeah.
And if he
So they got
reaches
Slayton, Shepard,
value, it's
Waller,
16.5.
Campbell,
Probably getting somebody else in the draft too.
Wandell.
I think the Giants are. I think the Giants are
good.
going to. Yeah, they're going to be a tough team next year. I think.
Shout for the
Yeah, their
Giants.
weakness is their quarterback.
Looking good.
I don't think that's true, Ed. I guess next year will tell the truth, man.
It will. Well, I challenge you to draft him in a fantasy football league and start him.
I will.
I will.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, I won't. So I just gave you an advantage that you know I'm not going to draft him, so you can maybe push him down a little. You might want to wait till like the 4th round.
Yeah, unless
Just
Brian
saying.
or I come up and get it.
Yeah, that's a solid
true.
pick.
Okay.
I won't wait till the
I could guarantee you one guy I ain't drafted. You all know the name, man.
Okay. They also picked up a really good linebacker. Well, I don't know if he's really good or not. I'm basing this off of the $40 million deal they gave him. Bobby Orkalaki, OK Orkiali,
Kumbawali?
Yeah. You know who he is? I don't know who he is. Okay. Well, they signed
He's,
him. And they paid their punter $5 million.
Kumbawali.
I don't know why we're disking punter side. They make a difference in the game, guys. A good punter and a shitty punter makes a world of difference in a game.
Yeah, especially with fantasy and stuff.
Both New York teams, I think, are doing major things this year to get better, and I'm impressed with both.
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia. Now, they were, I think, like $95 million over the cap, so they had to make some major moves this year.
Mhm.
They were trying to buy a Super Bowl this year. But they signed Marcus Mariota to be their backup
Not a
to a
terrible
1-year
move.
deal, and I think that's a good move, and they didn't say how much it is. Then they got Rashad Penny, who's not a bad running back from Seattle, for
That's a sneaky good
1.3.
one, actually, yeah.
He's healthy.
That is.
They sent Sanders back in,
Brian's-
though.
They got Brian Scott, who's the guy that every
Boston.
year they say is going to be good.
Boston.
Or Boston Scott, yeah. I mean, he's already been on their team, but they signed him to a $2 million deal. Jason Kelsey, they managed to convince him not to retire by paying him $14.5 million for another
That
year.
convinced me not to retire, too.
Right?
I think I would take. You know how much $1 million is?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've never
That's a
seen
lot
it,
of
but I
money.
can imagine. A man can dream.
Yeah.
Okay, they re-signed Fletcher Cox to a 1-year, $10 million deal. Okay, Kenny, make a joke.
What a name.
What's there to make a joke about Fletcher Cox?
Oh, I don't know. I just figured that would get you excited. Okay. They signed Brandon Graham
Talk to, yeah.
to a 1-year deal for $6 million. They agreed to terms with James Barberry to a 3-year, $38 million contract, which includes $20 million of guaranteed money. So they are still keeping a lot of their players here. And then that Darius Slay had agreed to a 3-year, $42 million deal. So what he basically did, I think, to stay with them is he knocked a year of his salary off.
So Slade's staying with them now?
It looked like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Darius
I thought they
Slay.
were. No, dude, I could have swore I saw they released them.
No, he's there.
Well, yeah, they said that he actually had a 2-year deal and he added another year to it at the same cost of money. So to drop the cap, I guess, to keep him. Okay, here's the Washington Redskins. They picked up Jacoby Brissett to a 1-year, $8 million contract. Now, is that the dude that goes and plays for everybody and kind of sucks?
Are you talking about Tyler Meineke?
No.
No,
Or
Jacoby.
Taylor Heineke or something?
Or-
Brissett?
Jacoby.
Jacoby Brissett
First,
he had a
Brissett.
stint up in Indianapolis. Then I think this past year he was the backup at Baltimore.
No, he's with
I think
the
he
Browns.
Was he with the Browns?
Well,
this year? I couldn't
Professional
remember.
backup.
Oh yeah, I think he originally came out of New England and then got traded to San Francisco. He's been like all over. Or no, I don't think San Francisco was in the park.
No.
He was the backup in New England, and they traded him when Luck, was it Andrew Luck was their old quarterback that was awesome? When he got
like they went on
when he
a little
decided to
carousel,
quit.
yeah.
When he decided just to quit, they picked
Yep,
him
and then
up.
Jacoby Myers took over right after him because he was the backup, and then not Jacoby Myers, good Lord, Brissett rather. I think he was behind center there for 2 seasons, I want to say, before they.
It was horrible. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was kind of almost like a miniature Aaron Rodgers situation where they're trying to just be like, all right, Andrew Luck, you're one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Go win the game for us. I mean,
Now,
and
here's
Luck's like, all right, bye. And then their true colors started to show.
here is the crazy deal, and I'm happy for him, was Andrew Wiley. He was the right tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs. All year long, I screamed at him. I screamed at both our tackles for being so terrible because they were constantly letting guys by. Brown is just so big. He could stop big guys, but fast guys he couldn't stop. But Wiley is just dumb and would let guys run around him all the time. And he signed a 3-year, $24 million deal with the Redskins. So good for him.
Hmm.
I'm shocked that anybody would even want him.
Yeah.
But he played good in the Super Bowl. And if you play good when everybody's watching, that's all people care.
Yeah.
Okay. They picked Darren Payne, they put him on a franchise tag. Never mind, they already had him. It doesn't look like they did any other big moves. So, wow. That team blows. Okay. The Bears. Okay.
They are
they got a
already
back-
with what they did with the trade, Ed. I think the Bears are. I think they're front and center to take over the NFC Central.
They got DJ Moore. They just signed Robert Tonyan from the Packers earlier. I tell you what, they're giving Fields some weapons.
Mm-hmm.
They just got Foreman today from Carolina.
Deontay Foreman. Mm-hmm.
He was the backup in Tennessee 2 years ago, and when King Henry went down, he looked like King Henry. He's a giant beast, fast and studly.
Which plays to
couldn't
their
believe that
smash the ball up your mouth football that the Bears are known for.
Mm-hmm.
I think the
Dude
Bears
is
are a
stud.
very, very, very scary team this year. I think
Especially with who they take at number 9, which I'm hearing might be TCU's Quentin Johnston, who, like, I mean, if you see like his film and all that dude, he gets an open space, forget it. You add that with, I mean, Tonyan, who's a respectable.
They got rid of Montgomery, though, didn't they?
Say what?
They got rid of Montgomery, though, didn't they?
I think they did, yeah. I can't remember who Montgomery went with, but I mean, even in the passing game, you still think about it. I mean, add that
Montgomery made
and
a really
DJ Moore too.
move.
Yikes!
Mm-hmm. They're going to be strong.
But yeah,
and they're going to be
Actually, a
strong for
fun
years
team
to come.
watch.
Because I mean, they picked up
really
how
fun.
many? They got 2 number 1s and 2 number 2s,
Yeah,
and DJ
it's gonna
Moore.
be
I
really
mean,
fun.
yeah,
I
this
should go.
team-
You want me to go put my Bears jersey on?
I'd rather
No.
you didn't.
Ed, right now, see how I'm. Oh, yeah, I just relieved myself all over your head. Ah,
Oh,
The joke's on you. I can't smell because I'm all congested.
my goodness!
Okay. Detroit Lions. A question mark
Before we
here.
go anywhere on
They
the Lions, I
signed
gotta say,
David Montgomery to a 3-year, $18 million
that's where they
deal.
went.
Jamal's
Why?
yeah,
Jamal
they got rid of
Williams.
Jamal Williams. I don't like that. I like Williams better than Montgomery.
yeah.
I mean, at the same time,
Well,
Montgomery and
they still
DeAndre
have
Swift, though,
Swift.
that's going to be scary.
Yeah, well, I think that Detroit's going to be a fun team to watch too, Nick.
Detroit's
I don't-
probably the favorite in the NFC North almost right now.
I think the Bears probably are going to be good this year too. It's going to be between those two. Packers and Vikes are going to be on coast mode, rebuilding years from here forward. I think.
Yeah,
Well-
looking forward to that.
So no other giant earth-shattering. Cameron Sutton, they signed to a 3-year, $33 million deal to play corner. They signed Alex Arzarlo, Anzalone. I don't know, to a $19 million deal. But so let's go to the amazing Green Bay team. They signed a punt kick returner, Nixon, to a. Oh no, he was
punt
already on the
return
team.
yards and all that, led the NFL, and he didn't even play the full
season. They signed him to $6 million. So yeah, good job, Green Bay. Minnesota. Okay.
Oh God.
Minnesota. Well, they have the smallest.
Oh, timeout. I'm calling a foul.
When it comes to moves,
Ed, you gotta give the guy that's a
moves.
Green Bay fan a chance to talk about his team. We let you talk about the Chiefs for 20 minutes.
Also,
right.
let it be known, yes.
Pick one of those 3 guys that you think is any good.
Rudy Ford is a sneaky good one. He didn't play a full season, so it's kind of a prove-it deal for him.
Or he's just injury prone.
But Keyshawn Nixon I like because, well, one, he brought a kick return back against there. But it's the first time I think we've had a decent kick returner since probably Desmond Howard.
But look at this. Everybody else has made dozens of moves.
We're waiting for New York to sign the dotted line on Rodgers before we make our future moves.
I'm sure they're gonna if they sign Lazard.
Right. I mean, Rodgers has already said on the Pat McAfee show that's where he wants to go.
I don't know why he would, but you know what? More power to him. But I'll tell you something. I kind of like the way this is working out, guys. Do you remember another good Green Bay quarterback that went to the Jets and somehow ended up in the promised land? I feel this rhythm coming again. Rodgers. I'll be wearing that Rodgers jersey soon with Minnesota.
Yeah, that's where they go. Our trash goes to Minnesota.
You talking about Brett Favre?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
See, that's crazy.
Well, you ready? Minnesota has made a lot of moves this year.
Yeah,
not all bad.
Pretty good.
But they re-signed Alexander Madison to a 2-year, $7 million deal.
Which they should have done.
That. Okay. How about Josh Oliver? They agreed to a 3-year, $21 million deal to have a backup tight end.
He's like number 3 tight end.
Yeah. But he's getting paid like a number 1.
Yeah.
So
they're going to keep Irv Smith, Hawkinson, and another expensive one.
They're keeping Granite Branberry, their center, for $15.5 million for 3 years. They're keeping their other center, Austin Schotman. Oh, I don't think he really plays. They didn't even give a money contract on him. Oh, here we go. They agreed to edge Marcus Davenport
That's a
to
good
a
one.
1-year, $13 million deal.
But you guys need to understand why we had to do that. We let Darius Smith walk. He's walking. He wants out of Minnesota. Is that guy better than Smith?
I don't know.
Packers and Viking fans can both agree, no.
No.
Poor guy. Okay. Well, but they saved some money and signed to a 2-year deal Dean Lowry, defensive lineman.
You can have him. Y'all can have him. I swear, the Vikings, the Bears, the Lions, those are like discount Packer stores or something. They're like $1 for washed up Packers or something.
Sloppy seconds.
Here,
They want it.
cornerback
They want it so bad.
Brian Murphy, cornerback, 2-year, $22 million.
Now, that kid is the one I did get excited about. He was an Arizona Cardinal. He's a pretty decent corner. I think we did do a slight upgrade bringing him on.
I read today that They thought that he was better than what you guys had last year because he can really cover wide receivers. And that's not a slight. That's actually, they were saying how good he was.
I think that is an upgrade. I still wish we would have re-signed Peterson because I think his locker room presence would have helped us down the road with these young. The other thing too is that I think our secondary is going to be better because our number 1 draft pick last year got hurt in the second game. So I'm anxious to see what Sin will bring to the table at the safety position this year too. So we've got some.
Did they let Dantzler go?
Who?
Dantzler?
Dantzler, yes, he's gone.
Oh no, that's a 3-year deal. I'm looking at Atlanta here, and they picked up a bunch of defensemen that are expensive, but I don't think they're going to be any good. Okay, Carolina. They signed Andy Dalton to a year.
We just Atlanta altogether. Is up next. We flipped the page.
Atlanta is going to be contending for the first round pick. Next.
Yeah. They're just not a real football team, and I get so tired of watching them on TV because that's my closest team to me. It's Atlanta, and then Nashville's my second. So those are the 2 teams I have to watch every week. Oh, okay. Andy Dalton signed a 2-year, $11 million deal with who am I looking at? With Carolina.
The Red Rifle of the Panther. All right.
Well, think about what they're doing, Ed. They just picked up the
they're
number 1
drafting.
pick. Their number 1 draft pick they're getting. So now you got a seasoned veteran in the house that can help coach the kid as a backup, because whoever they bring in at number 1 is going to have to start, or the town's going to go absolutely apeshit. So they will. I mean, they gave up the farm to get. They got rid of DJ Moore and both of their first 2 picks for the next 2 seasons. So you could bet your ass whoever they're bringing in started.
Which is kind of weird because at number 1, who else are you bringing in other than a quarterback?
Well, it's going to be a quarterback. I just don't know which one.
I'm thinking.
I mean, Bryce Young is looking good, but did Bryce Young just have a great combine? And was he good? If you go watch the game film of the kid, he's okay. I mean, I don't think he's spectacular. Who else would you take in the number 1 pick this year for quarterback? I don't think this is a strong quarterback class as we've had in years past. I just think
Anthony Richardson from Florida.
Yeah, that kid's pretty good. He's pretty good. But is he NFL starter good? Is the question.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever find out until 3 years afterwards. I mean, who was that schmuck that the Jets were playing last year?
The MILF Hunter. I'm sorry, that's not my name, but
the Jets have an incredible. They had a great team, and then they have this idiot quarterback who screws up and blames it on the defense.
Are you talking about Wilson?
Yep, Zach Wilson.
Wilson's trash.
Yeah. I don't like that punk. I just
That's what I wanted to get rid of, and I wanted to keep Mike wondering.
Okay, well, let's ask it now. I'm curious. Zach Wilson, Tom Brady. Which one you hate worse, Ed?
Oh, well, I mean, Zach Wilson's stupid. Tom Brady's a cheater. So, I mean, I'll take stupid any day over a cheat. Okay. Miles Sanders.
I always say you can.
Hey, come talk to me when your boy Mahomes has that many, okay?
That might not be too long.
He might.
He's going. Give him maybe 10 years.
What does he got now? 2?
2.
Yeah.
3 appearances, 2 wins.
He's young.
Very.
But is that Mahomes or is that Reed or the coach?
You mean Reed?
I think
it's
Reed.
Reed's all
much like
I think it's Mahomes.
Brady. It was a little bit of both.
Mahomes does things that are crazy. he can throw no look passes like crazy. It's so weird. I don't know. I mean,
a football.
And that's the one reason why I think he'll never surpass Tom Brady's 7 rings. Because he does take chances, and he's going to get clobbered. He's going to dislocate his shoulder, probably break the thing, and that's the end of his career because he does take those chances.
Hating on it.
I'll take Marino or Manning or anybody over Brady because Brady cheated to get those. He's healthy. I'll give him credit. He stayed healthy. That's the only
you can't
thing he
cheat.
did.
You cannot cheat to the level he. I'm sorry. As much as you hate the guy, I
think
can't.
you
I
can.
can't
He
get
won a lot,
behind
but
that.
he still cheated.
Brady
It's been
is
proven.
the
He
best
won,
quarterback
cheating.
that ever played the game. Period.
Hey,
He
I'm
shouldn't
just
have ruined his
saying that
image
Tom
then.
Brady is- Sorry.
Did Barry Bonds cheat?
I don't know.
I mean, kind of.
They're not letting Barry Bonds into the Hall of Fame because he took steroids. They caught him
And
cheating.
Ed, I
one
hate
time.
to say it, and you're not going to want to hear it. You put a secret camera in the Chiefs locker room. There's cheating going on there too. They're just better at it.
Oh, okay. Well, we're just going to stop the conversation. That's not true. We don't have Kraft in our back, or Kraft has the commissioner in his back pocket too. I hate the commissioner.
All I was going to say, though, is everybody wants to say Tom Brady is the greatest one, but Bart Starr's the only NFL quarterback to ever won 3 titles in a row. Get on that level, Tom Brady.
And he didn't cheat. He's awesome.
Won the last ever NFL championship in the first 2 Super Bowls, which, by the way, I'm trying to remember Ed Peplin. Who was that against?
Yeah.
Who won the third?
But hey, at least we beat the Vikings 2 years later. Okay.
That's true.
So Miles Sanders got signed by Carolina, a 4-year, $25.5 million deal.
I think that's a good.
I think they
pickup.
overpaid. I think they overpaid. He had 1 super season. I mean, I have drafted this guy in fantasy drafts over the years, and he gets 600 yards on average.
How many years was the deal, Ed?
It's a 4-year, $25.5 million deal.
Are you kidding me? I mean, we were saying that Josh Jacobs is worth $10 million.
Sorry.
Right. But
I
they had Foreman.
That kind of.
Oh my gosh, what in the heck is going on there?
I don't know,
But
man.
they had-
I hear women's voices. Maybe his wife's getting kinky.
Thought he saw a spider.
No, but a snake would do that to me.
I'm just saying they had Foreman and they let him go.
Oh, really? I might know a guy with an anaconda.
Don't want none.
Let me ask you something.
I thought my table, my camera just goes.
Okay, back on subject. Ed, why do you keep knocking us off subject?
Yeah, dang it! Come on, man.
My bad. Okay, New Orleans Saints signed 2 big quarterbacks this week, or well, in the last couple of weeks. They picked up Derek Carr for $150 million for 4 years, but then Jamie Winston, their starting quarterback that's getting replaced, re-signs for a 1-year, $4 million deal because he doesn't want to leave New Orleans. That's kind of cool.
I think he's Jameson. He just hasn't had a good year ever. And the one year he was starting the one
He
year
didn't get a chance either, really.
No, because he got hurt.
He had 50 or 50 touchdowns. He had 54
I think he's
touchdowns.
still got some in the tank, but there's only 32 teams in the league, and there's a lot of good quarterbacks in the league right now. If you think about it, name some of the people you just named are going to be backups this year. I mean, if this was 8, even 9 years ago, they'd all be starters in the league. The league has gotten better at quarterback is the problem.
Yep.
Which makes it asinine.
I
Somebody would pay a Kirk Cousins that much money when there's so many options. But that's just my thing.
I still love to see it.
I think it's cool that Jamie Wilson or what Winston likes New Orleans. Maybe he just likes the food, likes the bourbon
crab
trees,
legs
just
down
fun.
I went
It's
to
good
Mardi
fun.
Gras a couple times. I thought the town was pretty. I digged it.
He likes to check for not doing nothing.
The backup quarterback position, it's the best thing to have in the NFL.
Yeah, you got the
You
best
get
seat
paid
in
a
the
crap
house.
ton of money just to sit on the bench.
And not get hurt.
Yeah.
And if you go in, there's
Okay,
no
Joe.
pressure because nobody's expecting anything from you.
Yeah.
And if you do perform well, cool, you get an even bigger check later.
Yep. Somebody will sign you in free agency.
Jamal Williams signed with them for a 3-year, $12 million deal.
I like that.
Yes.
I
do
think that
too.
kid's got a lot in the tank, man.
Yep. I agree. And I'm still waiting for Kamara to get his lifetime suspension. I mean, the guy literally blinded a person in one eye. He is an animal and should not be in the league. Okay. Michael Thomas signed a 1-year, $10 million deal with an extra $5 million in bonuses if he probably plays.
Yeah, if he
get
plays,
injured.
that's good. But if not, then
Well, they had to do that. I mean, they got a couple of good young receivers coming up that it's good to have Thomas there to teach them. I mean, no matter what people could say, that Thomas is a class act as far as league people go. I mean, you never hear any dirt on him. He's always doing something for the community. I mean, that's the poster child for what you want on your team, right? So I think that's a good deal, keeping that kid around.
I like Olave.
Yeah, that guy's good. And then they had that Smith guy too. What was his name?
Traquan.
Traquan. There you go.
Oh yeah. Well, and then somebody named Jahan Johnson. They signed to a 2-year, $12 million deal, tight end. Yeah, that was good. I wonder if they still have that Hill guy.
They do. Taysom Hill.
They ain't gonna get rid of him, Ed.
Interesting. I know he's interesting.
He's kind of the gadgetry guy. I'll tell you right now. I mean, Tampa with Brady departing, I think the New Orleans could take over that #1 spot down there this year. I mean, who's gonna rival them right now?
You know what? I'm gonna give you an argument that who's gonna rival them. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers signed Baker Mayfield to a 1-year, $8.5 million.
I don't know what that means.
And what else?
That
might be
signed
good
a 1-year deal to Chase Edmonds. And Lavon Davis re-signed, so that's not a.
But let me ask you guys something. If Baker's so great, why would all these teams get rid of him so quickly?
Yeah.
well, I'll tell you right now, if Baker can't do well with the Buccaneers, that has arguably 2 of the top 10 receivers in the league with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. If he don't succeed there, he ain't gonna succeed nowhere.
And the other bonehead move Tampa made was letting Fournette out of there.
Well,
They
last
released
year,
Fournette.
he was so overweight. They were so mad at him for coming to the team so overweight.
But what does it matter if the guy's still putting up the numbers? I don't care if he weighs 500 pounds. If he's running for 1,000 yards every year and getting
He's a
touchdowns
monster.
for you, who gives a shit? You know?
It's like Eddie Lacy with the Packers. It's like, I didn't care. The man was still running for 100 yards.
That's
That dude
what I'm
can get
saying,
300-pound
man.
back.
Leave him
He
alone.
does the job.
They always worry about this fat index, you know?
Hey, Kenny,
Yep.
I got to get going. I got work in the morning.
What, they got you working the weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Damn, I would hate to be that guy. Man.
Yeah. All
Well,
right.
it was good to
Skipper's
see you,
the
Skip.
man.
Good seeing
All right.
Skipper.
See y'all
Thanks,
next
Skip.
week.
You're awesome. Sorry I
Good
didn't
night,
get to
Skipper.
Pittsburgh yet.
No, you're fine. We'll see you.
Bye-bye. Now I feel really bad we didn't do Pittsburgh first. Okay, the Rams basically have done nothing. Except cut players. They did less than Green Bay. Okay. Oh, here you the 49ers, Sam Donald. To a 1-year, $4.5 million deal.
It's a good backup.
Sam
man.
Darnold, the quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
It's sort of a quarterback or sort of a good deal.
It's
I mean, that's
it's
the
a
position,
as
not-
far as backups go, he's fine for a backup. I
Yeah.
mean, they didn't pay him
Baker
any
Mayfield's
money.
making twice as much. Okay. Looking for anything good that they did that's interesting.
Well, before you leave San Francisco,
Yes.
I think Purdy's going to get that job. Wouldn't you agree? I can't imagine they're going to invest any more time or effort in Trey Lance. I
If
just
it's
don't.
not broken, don't try to fix it.
I mean, if they're
It'd be
smart,
interesting.
Isn't Trey Lance their golden boy though?
don't matter, man. How do you keep that guy to I mean, what production have they gotten out of this? They've had him now for what? Is it 3 years or 2?
Or the bigger question is, how are you going to tell a guy that got you to the NFC Championship no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kid deserves to be the starter.
Until proven
I
otherwise.
like Purdy.
The only thing they're concerned with
Yeah, he's pretty good.
it was the throwing elbow.
But I bet you they go with Trey.
Well, if they do, they're
San
silly.
San
And
Francisco.
someone will trade for Brock Purdy then.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. But San Francisco, all their African American players might be getting a $5 million city bonus because their city hall
that's not gonna happen.
announced that they deserve $5 million. So all their they might get some good players out of this deal.
That's a bunch of.
Think about it. But okay, I just wanted to mention that just to say, wow, those guys just got a lot of extra money. Okay,
Good for them, I guess.
maybe. Yeah. I still pick my Chiefs over them. Okay, Seattle Seahawks. Drew Lock signed a 1-year, $4 million contract with the Seattle Seahawks with another $3.5 million in bonuses if he gets to play. Geno Smith signed a 3-year deal for $75 million with
Good for him.
another $30 million in bonuses.
Hey, bad. That's a pretty good price for the way he performed this year.
Hold on. We're going to
Yeah.
address this. This just came up. Just in, Danikin, Tom Brady signed a $12 million deal with the Vikings for 1 year. You know what? I'd take that deal. I'd take that deal there, Melvin.
I would be cursing in my sleep if that crap happened.
I would take that. Tom Brady, if you're listening, Minnesota, open arms, baby. Bring it.
At that point,
Yeah.
though, if you're the Packers, they're like, all right, there we go. We got Tom Brady in the league. All right, bet. Sorry, Jets, we're hanging on to him for 2 more years. Let's go.
Too
I
late.
wish he'd sign with the Raiders. Or Denver, because I would love to see my boys pound on him some. But yeah.
I'm
Okay.
glad he didn't, Ed, because I don't think I could have listened to your whining for a whole year when he's kicking your Chiefs' ass. I don't think I could have put up with it.
Happened. That sounds like what everybody said last year and what happened. Okay.
True story, though.
Damon Jones went to Seattle for a 3-year, $51.5 million contract. That's pretty huge. He's a defensive tackle. But that was the big. I didn't see Pittsburgh on this list.
You didn't do the Central, that's why. Or
Oh,
I
we
guess
did,
it's the AFC North.
We did the Bengals.
Baltimore, Cincinnati.
Yeah, you forgot to do Pittsburgh. We did. Did we talk Cleveland? Yeah, we talked Cleveland. Yeah, we just forgot Pittsburgh. I'm surprised. I am shocked that that's why he
There's
left.
Pittsburgh.
That's why he
Poor
left, Ed,
guy.
because we skipped his
We
team.
skipped them.
He was hurt. You skipped his team.
Well, they picked up somebody, a defensive tackle named Larry Oregana Jabai. Oregon Jabai.
Oh God. Oh Lord.
Ogunjobi. Maybe it's Irish. Oh, Jabai.
I ain't heard no Irish name like that before. I mean, I'm not a.
Gun Jabba. I don't know. How would you say that? See, it's the Gun Jabba.
Ogunjobi.
Ogunjobi?
Yeah, it's like Ben Obi-Wan Kenobi and Obajobi.
Ogunjobi.
Why didn't you guys know that when I was trying to pronounce it?
Because we were loving listening to you say the name.
Well, they signed him to a $28.5 million contract for 2 years.
Oh, goodness.
No, 3 years. Cole Holtcrum, they signed for a 3-year, $18 million deal. And Patrick Peterson went there for a 2-year, $14 million deal. So they
Peterson,
definitely
like I said,
upgraded
is a
their
good
defense.
locker room. He's a good locker room guy. Somebody you want in there.
Well, I totally apologize to Skipper that we skipped his name.
Melvin says it's an African name, Ed.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name's hard to pronounce too.
Oh man.
Wait, So, anything stand out huge to you guys?
I've already said my piece. I think look out for Chicago this year. I think they're going to do very well this year.
I still think
I
it's
like-
the best in that division, though.
I definitely like what they pulled off. I think after 3 years, we'll still be talking about it. I think the players they're going to get out of this trade are going to be pretty significant. So
were they actually the worst team in football at 3-14 last year?
they were. That's why they had the number 1 pick.
Wow.
But it didn't exactly match up with their needs that well, though.
So the interesting and the reason I arranged this, Ed, we have 2 guys that potentially are on the biggest trade of the year. Let's get the perspective of a Jets fan and a Packers fan about this potential trade with Rodgers.
Oh boy!
So which one of you Jets would like to start?
No matter to me. You want to go, Brian?
Didn't like it at first. Still don't like it. But we got what, 1 year, maybe 2 years to do something?
1 year for sure. 2, maybe 3 at most, I would think.
And it depends if Jeopardy calls offering more money.
But as far as the team goes, I don't like it. I think we were building. We had so many pieces. We should have
agree
kept
with
building.
you, Pep. You should have kept White. I think
White should have kept White. Should have went with White.
Could have kept him cheap on the pay scale. Could have still brought in some good free agents.
What's done is done, though. We got, see what happens.
If he gets
We
you
got a hell of a
nobody will
team.
be complaining, right?
As long as Rodgers don't fuck up too bad.
Well, that and you got to boost up that O-line a bit.
White's the backup in Miami.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't think of his last name, but Travis pointed that out, I think, in the chat earlier.
Cross-conference trade, or
I think
in division.
their thinking is the current quarterback in Miami isn't. I wouldn't put him up in the top tier of the league.
Tua?
I don't think Tua is, man. What is?
I don't know how long he's going to be around.
Hey, I don't even know if he's the number 1 answer overall.
I think White might be. I think that kid could fight.
White's good.
I think White's going to take over that starting position there this year is what I think is going to happen.
I think Jaden Hurts was better than Tua in Miami, but the coach just didn't like him. That stupid Saban down there, or not Miami,
Alabama. Yeah, I have no love for that guy.
Now that I live in the South, he is our Darth Vader. And I felt sorry for Jaden because I think he was a stud.
Well, I mean, he's got a chance to prove himself now. He plays.
He made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think the kid will get a ring before it's over.
I doubt it. Just because their team, maybe the team will sell out again and get another chance in 5 years. But what is Green Bay getting for Rodgers, or what is
nobody knows yet because the trade's
nobody
not
knows
done
right now. I mean,
not much.
Any Packer fan that thinks Green Bay is getting multiple first-round picks for Rodgers, I mean, if you did the trade last year, absolutely. But this year, no way in hell. No way. I think the Packers, it's fair if they demand 1 first-round pick. I know some people would even disagree with that, but it's like, okay.
I see them getting a first-rounder and probably
a 2nd and a 5th, I believe, is what they're talking.
Okay, 2nd and 5th, but I bet you they throw them some kind of decent defensive player to help their secondary.
Then I think there'd be like some sort of
maybe Corey Davis.
But like I can't think of the exact term that they use, but like a pick based on like whether or not Rodgers would play next year. And I think that if Rodgers goes to the Jets, I think he gives you at least 2
And
seasons.
I think Rodgers,
unless you win the Super Bowl next year.
I think Rodgers, if this goes down, the first year with the Jets is going to kill it. He's going to want to prove himself. He's going to have a prove it year. Prove I still got it.
Happen right away.
I see it happening. I mean, if he makes it to the Jets, he's not going to be a slouch. He's going to have a great year.
Well, I mean, think about it. He's going to have Elijah Moore there. I mean, they had the offensive rookie of the year with Garrett Wilson there as well. They now
Brees
got to
Hall.
deploy Alan Lazard over there. I mean,
Brees Hall.
Rodgers has got weapons over there. Yeah, Brees Hall in the backfield. They
And their
got weapons
defense,
for him
the
there.
Jets' defense is solid.
Yeah, Sauce Gardner back there with the defense and all those other people. I mean, hey, they still got some decent draft
That's why
picks.
they're getting Rodgers. They're trying to win this year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, for the Jets, I mean, here's the next thing, too. Why I say, like, no, I think it'd be fair if the Packers still got one first round, because here's the thing. Yes, he only plays probably, let's say, 2 years for the sake of the argument. But for those 2 years, the Jets have a very realistic window of getting a Super Bowl, something that only the great Joe Namath has done before. And, I mean, it doesn't guarantee that they're for sure going to get it, but when you think about it, too, I mean, how hard is it to even just get in the Super Bowl window?
Right.
I mean, it's hard enough to get there one. It's even harder to actually get there, though, as we've learned over the past decade. But it's
Kansas City Chiefs used to do this all the time in the 90s.
Mm.
We were always going after the big old name. You know, we went after Montana. We went after Warren Moon. We went after the guy for Seattle that was good, David Craig. You know, it was constant. Yeah, it was just name
Alex
after
was
name.
doing you guys right, though, dude. I mean, he did some good years.
Oh, Alex Smith, though, I'm not putting him in with that 90s run. Like when Schottenheimer was our quarterback, or our coach. It was just, the Chiefs were like one of the heaviest winning teams in the 90s, and we never won a playoff game. It's crazy. And, yeah, then we got Trent Green, and he was amazing. But that was with Vermeil. You know, and Vermeil was a great quarterback, or a great coach for us. And we did great. And then when he retired, we just hit the toilet. And we got lucky getting Reed, and he traded for Alex Smith. And so, yeah. But I don't consider Alex Smith, he was kind of a throwaway. He wasn't a great quarterback. You know,
he wasn't bad, though, either.
I mean, you got to give the guy props just to come back from that horrific injury. And
I think the Chiefs may have signed him already to be our quarterback coach. I read today that they just signed a new coach, and they were negotiating signing him as our new quarterback coach earlier this week. I read, so that's cool. But yeah, but I was just saying, like, Hall of Fame guys that were studs. It didn't pan out for the Chiefs, but I'm sure that, you know, the Chiefs have other problems. It just sucks to give up first-round draft picks for 1 or 2 year guys. Unless you win.
Yeah.
And none of those, well, Montana, he was like, I would put Montana right up there with Aaron Rodgers. But,
Montana was far better than Rodgers.
I'm not going to go down that slippery slope. But,
if I had to choose between Rodgers or Montana, one game for the Super Bowl, I'm taking Montana. The guy knew how to win every time. There's no way I could pick. No offense to you, Austin, but I couldn't. And I also would pick Favre over Rodgers. So I like Favre.
Now here's my thing.
I like Favre's attitude, man. He just
see me. I would disagree.
I love Favre.
I would take Rodgers every day of the week, every hour of the day over Favre.
I don't like Rodgers because he's a very selfish individual, in my opinion. He's selfish. He's almost as bad as Cousins, which that tells you the level I hate the guy. I mean,
you know, maybe we'll have to do a top 10 quarterbacks next week.
That would be fun.
Oh, that'll light this place on fire.
We have all week to think about it. All of us have all week to think about it. Brian, you're welcome to join.
Current quarterbacks or all time?
All time.
I had to think about that for a minute.
Let's do. Or do you guys?
Are we allowing cheaters or no?
All time.
I would imagine this guy loves him.
Who?
He said, "Are we allowing the cheater?"
Damn Skippy.
No, we know Skipper will be here, but
damn Skippy.
Oh, we should pick up Gracie so she can meet.
Well,
hear a girl's voice
Behind him.
No.
Or should we do the top 10 quarterbacks to never win a Super Bowl? That'd be fun too.
I mean, to win a Super Bowl, there's a lot of quarterbacks that honestly, I mean,
you got
there are
Dan
a lot of
Marino,
teams that won Super Bowls despite their
Tarkenton,
quarterback.
Warren Moon.
Warren Moon. There's some great ones that never won the Super
Randall
Bowl.
Cunningham.
Cunningham.
Roger Craig.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nico.
Whoa, there's a kitty
Oh.
cat.
Look,
That's Gracie.
kitty cat. Look, a kitty cat.
Oh, look at Nico try to pull his moves
One
now.
little, two little.
Look at him
Now we
trying to
just
be
need,
all safe.
And we need Kenny over there to pull up a kitty cat over something.
or something.
1, 2, 3 kitties.
You guys could have puffers.
I mean, I got catfish, but I don't think that counts for this category.
Speaking of puppers, how is the Baboo doing in his new little environment?
He's doing pretty good. I swear the little dude's already grown like at least a half inch for the 2 weeks that we put him in here. He's his appetite's going about as quick as his growth spurt's going to be. He's always begging for food and such. Hence why I probably don't see any snails or ghost shrimp on the floor anymore. He's probably already found all those and be like, "Oh, sweet chomp." But he hasn't messed with any of the minnows though, which is kind of cool to see. Hopefully that means I can add tank mates with him later. He's left the minnows alone though.
Yeah, I don't. Chaka goes through streaks, man. I mean, I think he's going to be okay with my Daniels. And then I'll wake up one morning and I'll find a giant Daniel with like 5 chunks out of him where he, cornered him and got him. And
Wow.
Chalk is better than Finley then. There's a reason why. Well, for the record,
Finley's got 550 gallons. Why it's harder to catch the minnows.
Well, that's true. I mean, like with Finley in her 150, my Fahaka there, I mean, there's well, I call her the queen, but it's short for Queen of Hearts. Because anything I put in her water, she is chill for everything. But the moment I put anything in her water, she quickly turns into the Queen of Hearts because it's off with their head.
Yeah.
And she has no mercy. Crayfish, minnow, whatever I put in there, she kills it.
All right, guys. One chance next year. Not knowing anything what they've picked up or anything. Who is your Super Bowl prediction next year?
Oof.
Jets, Chiefs. No, that can't happen.
No,
Yeah,
well,
that's 2 AFC
the Jets
teams
can
right there.
play at Arrowhead.
AFC
No,
Championship.
There you go.
That'll be the real Super Bowl.
That'll probably be
Aaron
their
Rodgers versus
Chiefs'
Mahomes,
first
I'd love it.
championship at the Meadowlands.
Yeah.
What I will be rooting for so hard, it'll never happen. Jets, Packers. Jordan Love versus Aaron Rodgers. It'll never happen.
That would be insane.
But I would
That
love
would
it.
be.
I'd love every minute of it. I wouldn't even care how the game would go because I'd be like, cool, if the Packers get a ring, all right, number 5, let's
it'll
go.
be Chiefs and who else, Ed? Because I know you're going Chiefs. You're not going against your Chiefs.
Boy, it's really tough because there's been a lot of moves in the NFC. Like I'm not going to be crazy and say the Bears, even though they've made a lot of good moves. They're so far
Bears
behind.
got a lot to prove.
And
yet,
I
though, too.
still, it's hard for me to ever say Detroit because, it's still Detroit. Your team has hurt itself, man, and I'm sorry about that.
No, dude, I don't see us being a contender for 5 years, 6 years, maybe. So
Maybe, boy, it'll be see, I don't know what the 49ers have done. It'll probably be between the 49ers, the Cowboys, and the Giants maybe right now.
that's what I was just going to say. My outlandish pick for the year is going to be an all New York Super Bowl next year.
I'm
I
with
see
you.
it, New York against New York. I mean, I think it's a good shot it could happen. I think the Giants have made enough moves in this offseason where they are a very viable chance at the Super Bowl. And the Jets, if they get Rodgers, I mean, obviously they're setting themselves up to get Rodgers. They said every quarterback they had packing, with the exception of Wilson, and you saw what you had with him. So they are set up to bring Rodgers in. We already can almost assume it's happening.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
If they got
it's gonna happen.
Rodgers, they got a very
Matter of
good
time.
shot at the Super Bowl next year. They got some great receivers there, a decent offensive line to protect Rodgers. So
Killer running back.
And the main thing is they got a defense, a very good defense. So I could see an all New York Super Bowl next year. I really could.
That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy. My son's a Giants fan, so we'd be going nuts.
I'd be running for the Jets.
If that happens, then it sounds like I'm going to Peplin's for the weekend.
Hey, there you go.
Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be fun?
Party at Peplin's place if it's an all New York Super Bowl or something.
Let's do it.
Problem
I'm in
is,
Wisconsin to watch the New York
Peplin's, so
team.
it's going to be tough. You're going to be like, football, fish, football, fish. You know what I mean?
You can watch out in the shop so you don't get distracted.
Peplin's actually grown his fish room since even when I was there, and it was pretty impressive when I was there. So
It's a compound now.
Got to grow.
That or if it's a Jets and Packers Super Bowl, because then, I mean, hey, you're Wisconsinites and you got the Jets, so there you go.
Yeah.
I
but
mean,
neither one of them root for Wisconsin teams.
I don't know if Green Bay is going to make it very far this year.
no. Well, if we make it to the playoffs, it's nothing short of if we even make the playoffs or get around, I'm expecting. Not expecting. I'm hoping with Jordan Love, the Packers get somewhere around the 500 mark. If we get around that year one, I'm happy. And then it's like
500 is the win.
It's going to depend on their draft. If they can get one more viable receiver,
They can draft.
I mean, especially if they get the 13th pick and get 2 first-rounders, which I still say is very, very possible. Then
nice, Ed.
I mean, yeah, you get a safety.
Puffer?
You get it's a Maboo.
This is at the Tennessee Aquarium, but did you see all of its fish mates? There's like hundreds of different fish in there.
Yeah, but it's a
There's like
ginormous tank.
That's
there's like
4
some
of what I
2-foot
have back
bichers.
here.
Yeah. If you got a big tank head, you can get away with a lot more because
Look at that
puffers are not
bicher
known for their
behind him.
speed by any means.
Nope, they're looking for some. They're more known for being
It's
derpy
actually-
little kill machines.
I've watched
It's
mine when it comes to crayfish. I mean, they're very slow, methodical about their movements. It's like the crayfish just, this is chill. He's not going to hurt me. And then bam! Off with your head.
Yep.
But does this guy seem a little skinnier than normal?
I
Or is
mean,
he
you don't
healthy?
look bad by any means.
Okay.
His color looks
Well,
good and all
that's
that, but
He might have a worm. Who knows?
maybe, I mean, yeah, he's a little.
Well, there's one of the
skinny, but not
bichers in
horrible.
the tank. Look at this 2-foot bicher. It's like a log swimming in that tank.
I would love to
There's
put a
another
fire eel
bicher.
with my Maboo, but I'm worried about what would happen if it started swimming and such. That little fin of theirs.
So, Austin, who did you say you think the Super Bowl will be?
I actually don't think I even said that.
You did.
Boy, I mean, if the Jets get Rodgers, I think they're right there with the Chiefs. The NFC, though, gosh, the NFC is wide open. But
And everybody, when we're talking the AFC, it's like we always discount. There's 2 teams up there that are still strong teams that
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati
oh
and
yeah,
Buffalo.
Cincinnati's another one.
Cincinnati and Buffalo both. They both got strong Ds.
I think San Diego's good too.
San Diego's starting to rise. I think.
San Diego just always finds a way to screw themselves is the problem.
Yep.
Yeah, not San
I mean,
Diego.
that Jacksonville game is like,
LA.
yep, that's
Chargers.
classic Chargers. But
Yeah,
oh, what the heck?
my bad.
I'm gonna say that Jets and Chiefs in the AFC Championship, and whoever hosts that game will probably win. But I'm gonna say, just for the sake, my boy Aaron Rodgers goes to the Jets, gets them to the Super Bowl, and he's wearing a green jersey, I guess at least. But boy, the NFC, I just don't know. I mean, I know some people were saying Cowboys. It's like, yeah, I trust the Cowboys to win a Super Bowl about as much as I would. Well, nothing's comparable. I mean, there's a reason they haven't won a. When was the last time the Cowboys even made a Super
Another
Bowl?
team that nobody talks about for contention too, that I still think has a very good shot with their receiving core and their patched up defense that they've gotten put together, is Geno Smith's resurgence as a QB now. I think Seattle has to be in the conversation for the West. I really do.
I mean,
Yeah,
offensively,
Seattle
they
has
got
a
the
chance.
DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. They just got to get some more weapon or people on that defense, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
They've
Kenneth
got a
Walker
good
in the
young.
backfield,
They got a
too.
young crew there right now that I think if they, got somebody that's a solid leader for the defense, like a good middle linebacker or something of that nature, I think they could be real good.
Yeah. I mean, as we were saying earlier, Sean Payton now in Denver. Who knows? Denver, Sean Payton could fix Russell Wilson just like, and that
He is a quarterback whisperer, man.
He is. I mean, look what he did with Breeze for God knows how long.
And they thought Breeze was done.
Yeah, and then he just resurges back, and honestly, probably should have made the Super Bowl twice if it won a miracle in Minneapolis, which I was in Buffalo Wild Wings when it happened, and that place went crazy. One of my best non-Packer memories, because that was cool. I'll admit it, that was cool. But I still haven't given my team.
That just brought another painful dagger into my heart. You get that awesome reception from that guy. How do we repay him? We send him packing to Buffalo. That was awesome of him, wasn't it?
I know. I don't get why they got rid of Case Keenum either. The dude loved it there. He wanted to stay there, and they said, "Nah, we're good."
If we could rewind the clock, we signed Keenum. Can you imagine what our defense would look like at this point?
Oh, yikes!
I mean, we probably wouldn't have Justin Jefferson, but
right. Okay, I've never actually given my Super Bowl, so I'm going to go ahead and say Aaron Rodgers led Jets versus the Brock Purdy led 49ers.
Wow. I like that.
And honestly, I wouldn't hate either team if they won, because Brock Purdy, that's my former Iowa State Cyclone. And Rodgers, hey, he got his storybook ending with 2 rings. Happy retirement, buddy.
Daniel Doge,
I don't hate
Super
that
Bowl
at all.
MVP next year.
We'll see.
So then next year when we're talking at the end of the year like this, I say, yeah, Ed, do you remember when you were talking all that smack about that $150 million they paid that guy?
You mean the Giants guy? Yeah. That's fine.
Daniel Jones.
I don't think I would. I'm going to have to eat my words on that. But, I mean, if he gets like if he's in the top 5, I'll eat my words. I don't think he's the top 5. I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback. I don't want him on my fantasy team.
Just don't make him do too many long runs, like 70 yards plus, or he'll trip.
I don't think he's going to be doing any long runs because he's got paid. I think you're going to see his running game go back to how it used to be. You know, he was amazing this year because he wanted to get paid. I just don't see him getting better.
I also think Brian Dable, the coach there, did a big piece of that, though, too.
It'll all remain to be seen this coming season. So,
yep. Oh,
well, guys,
can I mention something real quick?
Yeah.
This doesn't apply to football, but it does fantasy baseball. We're going to do the fantasy baseball draft on this channel, and we have 10 guys. I haven't reached out to the 10 guys yet to make sure that they're all playing, but if you want to play, let me know, and I'll find out if all 10 guys from last year are playing, and maybe we'll add 2 more teams if we get 2 people that want to join. Fantasy baseball's pretty
fun. What are you thinking of doing the draft, Ed?
I don't know. That was something I needed to contact all those guys. I've got like 2 drafts this Sunday that I'm in, and
well, just let me know. I'm off on every weekend now, so I'll at least come up and watch it so you can concentrate on drafting and I can entertain the chat for you.
Well, maybe we'll do the draft, maybe not this Sunday, but the following Sunday. Because we got to get it done now. I couldn't believe it's already so late. But yeah, fantasy baseball is pretty fun. It's a lot more like managing a team than football because you have to draft every player on the team because everybody puts up stats. You know, in football, it's only offensive players that really put up stats. And when I say offense, I don't even mean offensive linemen. So, you know, you have 26 guys that are playing all the time in football versus the 26 that you have playing in baseball, but everyone has a position that's pulling in lots of numbers. So it's interesting. There's like, I don't know if there's 32 teams, 34 teams in baseball. There's normally a lot of extra players in baseball. Everybody has at least one first baseman.
Sorry.
Everybody has several pitchers. So it's not nearly as hard to do. I wanted to see if people would be interested in doing an auction draft where everybody gets $200 and you have to bid on players. But that might be a little more confusing too. I don't know.
Right.
So, but it'll be fun, guys. And thank you, Kenny, a lot for having it. And thank you, Peplin, for coming up and hanging out with us.
Yeah.
Peplin,
It was a lot of fun having you.
this is where we give you the opportunity. So, what do you and Roxanne got going on with you all's world?
What do we got going on?
You're getting close to opening shipping soon again, right?
Yeah, we'll be shipping soon. Probably 2, 3, 4 weeks, something like that. Whenever the weather.
And you
Looks
might
like
have
it's gonna
over
be long.
100 cool little, cute little aquarium little pets in there, right?
A lot of axolotls yet, right?
Yeah, you still got a ton.
Yeah, 111
11.
axolotls.
And I can tell you, my axolotl I got from them is amazing. My little princess. The only thing I got to complain about, you go through a lot of food. They're fish and
Imagine having 100 of them.
they seem to like to eat. But
They eat
Austin,
a
what
lot.
you got going on, baby?
Well, gonna get some tank mates with Mac here in the 510 here soon. I've also been starting to work on another tank, namely the 50-gallon corner where my arrowhead puffer used to be. I had a little vote with my channel mates here, asking them like, do we turn this into a saltwater with clownfish or keep it freshwater with pea puffer fish? And the vote
puffer's
wasn't
fun.
quite unanimous, but it was heavily dominated by keeping it freshwater with pea puffers. So
That's
how do you not want pea puffers? Really?
I mean, I
I wish
do.
I had
I
pea
was also
puffers.
just sitting here like, I'm probably going to open up my 38-gallon tank later on too, because I want to upgrade my Amazons from that 38 to a 55, or better yet, maybe even a 75, because I feel like if you get a 55, you just as well get a 75. But yeah, the 50-gallon corner, think I'm going to put like, I don't know, 8 to 10, maybe more little pea puffers in there, kind of depending on what I do with the aquascape. And yeah, that should be pretty cool.
Yep, that'd be fun. So, Mr. Ed, what you
Excellent.
got going on, brother?
Well, I'm rearranging the fish room. I'm taking out all my bottom tanks, and then I'm going to put glass bottoms on them just to make it easier on me. And I'm going to try doing a lot more line breeding of my guppies, because
Nice.
like I've got one of my platinum red-tailed guppies, they're Dumbos. One of them has come out and it's the powder blue on the metal instead of the metallic. And it almost looks like a blue bolt, shrimp. And so I'm going to put him with some girls and try to see if I can make that, because I think that'd be if I could get that genetic mutation working for me, that'd be awesome. I've got a couple other guppies that I want to work with on the line breeding, so that'll be fun. I got some daisy rice fish from Peplin last year, and they're having babies. So I've got little rice fishies that I love, and they came great. I recommend everybody go to Peplin or buy some fish from Peplin, because I mean, he does
This
an
is the
amazing
Peplin
job.
room I'm sitting in. I've got his. These are the Kubatai rasboras. And then the tank behind me, they're all hiding, probably eating rainbow eggs. I've got his hyphen palliatus in there. Then over there, I got his borlei. So I like Peplin's fish, man.
When you go see that Peplin and Roxy at the Catfish Catalysm, because you're going to have a booth there. If I mail you $200, Kenny, if you see L183s, like 6 of them for 200, or if you can tell
Is that
for
the
sure that
Starlight?
Starlight,
yeah.
Hey, nice.
I really want to breed those. I haven't ever bred any plecos before, and I'd like to work on those. And then I'm going to try to get some of those super reds from Kenny. So the two, trying to think. Well, they're bristlenose. Ancestral. Is that what they're called?
Incestuous, yeah.
Ancestrous. I'd like to first try to get that down, and then I'm going to go to either the green or the blue phantoms, and I'm going to do those in
Both of those are
Pelt.
gorgeous too.
So, but I'd like to be able to make some cool pleco that everybody doesn't see, and then give them away at my club and stuff. because everybody at my club gives fish away to each other, and I'd really like to be able to give something cool that like that away and be fun.
And
then
he's so humble.
I could trade them.
Your
I could also
guppies
trade
in
them
your
to my local
room are
fish store.
cool, dude. I mean, I don't. You're always so. The guppies you have are amazing. I don't know why. I
Yeah, but
guarantee
I
people
hoard
dig
my
'em.
guppies.
I know
I
you
hoard
do.
my guppies.
I know you do.
It's like I don't want to give or sell my guppies. I'm
Yeah.
a terrible human being. But if everybody in my club had my guppies, they wouldn't be special to me anymore.
That's right. You're right.
But
Well, guys,
I send them to you because you're so far.
Yeah. You can catch me and Danny Sunday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And for my members, I have switched from Saturday. I will do it Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. now instead of Saturday. There's a couple people that bounced in this Saturday. I don't want to stomp on them. So I figure Sunday morning, I'll just go right after Jason and start your Sunday morning off with your member stream. And then you can catch me Sunday night as well. But keep watching us grow here. Right now, we're all out of our season right now, but I guarantee you that by the time football season starts up and we start our smack talking, and I think you're going to see a little bit coming from all of us. I mean, there'll be some smack talking shorts, I think you'll start to see it liven up the closer to the football season we get. I personally am not a shit talker, so, but I might do a couple here and there. So anyway, guys, we should probably head off. We've been streaming for almost 2 hours already. So
holy cow!
You guys have an amazing weekend. We'll see you see you around all of our channels over the weekend, I'm sure. We'll catch you next time. Same place, same time next week. Peace.
See you later, guys.